Hello, this video will instruct you how to make a rose using the Carnation Mini Flower template. So you'll cut all the petals according to the instruction document, and all the petals will be rolled under except for two of the 2.5-inch flowers. These will be rolled up. However, you can roll all the petals up. Just remember to flip them over because I find it much easier to roll my petals up. So we're just going to take a dowel rod and place it down in the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath, pinch it up and roll. And we're going to do this for all of our petals. So just remember, two of them we're going to keep rolled up and use that for our rosebud center. So all three of these, the 2.5-inch, will be used for our center. And I like to roll just the petals that are the same size. So because all of these they change size for each petal, I can't roll them together like we did the three, if that makes total sense. So place the dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath. That holds the dowel rod in place. Pinch and roll. And as our petals get larger, we can switch to a little bit larger diameter dowel rod. And what that'll do is it won't make the curl as deep. So again, these are going to be rolled under, so I don't forget, I'm going to place them upside down. Thumb on top, index finger underneath holds the dowel rod in place. Pinch it up with your other hand and roll it along your index finger. And we're just going to continue to do this for all the petals. This will make approximately 4-inch rose. So if you were making multiple ones, I would stack all the same sizes together. That way you can just roll all the petals at one time. This is a pretty beautiful blush color by Recollections, and it can be purchased at Michael's. Comes in the pink buttons pack. I know, or they do have some solid color packs, like the tea rose color. I'm not really sure exactly which one it is. It's such a pretty color. Almost matches my nails. I was like, ooh, I should get these colors. Now the last two, the largest ones, are the same size. So I'm going to roll them with the same size dowel rod, and I am going to switch it to a little bit larger diameter dowel rod. If you are looking for any tools, if you're just new to making smaller mini flowers, I do offer them in my Etsy shop in the tools section, ranging from dowel rods to the flower shaping mat we're going to use to our metal ball stylus tools and more. Okay, so now the first part is we're going to make everything just like we do any other mini flower. Again, they're rolled under. So we're going to take our largest two. We're going to take our metal ball stylus on our flower shaping mat, which is a soft foam mat, roll the center, and not just push that center down and lifted our petals. We take one of them, add our hot glue. We're going to place them in between the petals. So we're looking at one petal. We're going to come straight down from the top and place it in between these two petals. So it fits right in there. So I like to rotate my petals approximately, just shift it a little bit. Whether you shift it to the right or left, that really doesn't matter. So again, as we add them, we're going to roll the center, and that lifts our petals, because when the petals are rolled under, it tends to close in the flower a lot more quicker than when the petals are rolled up. Again, this is just an alternate way to style the carnation. So come straight down in between the petals of layer 2 and press. So this is a little bit smaller. We're coming in 1/4 of an inch with each layer. Roll the center. And again, each layer, we're going to place the petals in between the previous layers. So again, rotate it, come straight down from the top and press. I like a nice full flower. So if you didn't want so many layers, you don't have to do so. Rotate it. We want to rotate it to make sure it doesn't get off center as well. Again, we're rolling the centers to lift our petals. Keep rotating it to make sure you're keeping that center right in the center and it's not getting wonky off center. So, because we're going to build our rosebuds shortly. So what you can do is lift the petals up. We add our glue. So I'm going to place them in between here. So come straight down and press. So this is where your metal ball stylus tools come in handy. That way you can set them down. And if you find some of the petals are too curled, you can open them up a little to give yourself a little bit more room. Okay, now we're going to make our rosebud. This is probably the hardest part, which I find more difficult, even as a paper florist. We're going to roll our centers like we normally do. This will be, we're going to work from the center out. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see. We want to take 2 of them and create that bud center. Remember, we want to try and keep it in the center. If you wanted to use craft glue at this point, you can. Once I have one, then I can get the other one. So we just took 2 petals opposite from one another. Okay. Now we're going to go to the opposite side. And do the exact same thing. So once I have one, I'm going to add a little dab of hot glue. Again, you can use craft glue at this point if you're more comfortable. And we're interlocking them. So once I have one side, then I can do the other. And that one may have dried too fast. Okay. So now I'm going to put this one on the outside. I think my other one dried super fast. Gorilla Glue dries super fast. So we're just going to let it dry a moment. And now we're bringing up the other two around. And now we're going to add the glue on either side. So it's fun to take a template and then style it a different way. Okay, and again, we're going to add a little bit of glue right on either side. And there's the beginning of your rosebud. Add a little bit of hot glue. We're going to look at a petal and place it in between. So these are the two center ones are rolled up again. So because we added our last petal here, I want to go to the opposite side. And again, we're going to add it on either side of the petal. Almost in a little bit of a curve, following the shape of the petal. Grab it up and let it grab and hold it there for a second. And then we go to the opposite side and do the exact same thing. So we're just going to rotate from side to side. Add your strips of glue. Lift it up and grab. So now we're going to go to the opposite side. Two strips of glue, just a little bit. And let it grab. So you want to have a little bit of space in between those two layers. Go to the opposite side. And again, add your glue right here and here. And then for our last two petals, again, add your dabs of glue. So we have a nice rosebud center. Now we're just going to glue her in here. So turn it over, add your hot glue, look at your petal and place it in between so it comes straight down from the top. and let that dry for a moment. And then what we're going to do is add 2 dots of glue here and here. Well, I don't want to do that one. I want to go to an empty spot. And then we pinch it out. Okay. I'm going to go to the opposite side again, and I'm going to add 2 little dots of glue. And again, you can use craft glue if you're more comfortable. I'm going to lift it up. I kind of bend it a little and pinch. Make sure it adheres. So hold it there for a moment. And you can bend the sides back just a little. If you need to roll them with a small dowel rod, you can. Now let's go to the opposite side and do the exact same thing. Dot and dot. Pinch it. You can make sure they're like curled backwards. Okay, so we just did here, so now we're going to come over here to the opposite side. Okay, I'm going to pinch it. These are small, they're 2.5 inch wide petals, so that's why I'm zoomed in a lot for you. Hold it there. And bend them back just a little. Okay, now we can go to the opposite side and do our last 2 petals using the same techniques, the dots. Dot. And dot. So again, if you're not comfortable with the hot glue, Bearly Arts is a great alternative craft glue that you can use. And again, we pinched and we're holding it kind of where we put those glue dots, and hold it there for a moment or two to allow it to adhere. Okay, and then our last one is our last 2 dots of glue. I have some glue on my fingernail. And there's our center. She's beautiful. And then we're just going to add her right in the center. Add some hot glue. Looking at a petal, place her in between. And press. And there you have it. That's the Carnation Mini Flower template styled as a rose. So it's fun to, again, reimagine the templates into a different flower. And you can use any sepal. This template does not come with a sepal, so I did use the peony sepal, which can be used with that. So thanks for watching.